James Fishback is laying the groundwork for his run for Florida governor in 2026. What can we expect from James Fishback as far as his policy position? In this video, I will discuss how Fishback's stances on H1B visas, immigration, housing, and welfare abuse will benefit the most underserved Americans, those who are below the age of 40. So let's get into it. On H1Bs and immigration, James Fishback is supporting a true America First position.
We do not have a country anymore. So, Mr. President, with all due respect, you cannot make America great again with the Chinese or the Indians. You have to do it with Americans, and you have to do it by putting America first.
Here is his take on H1Bs, and it's not from the standard GOP Republican Party playbook.
Between another 600,000 Chinese students to steal admission spots at U.S. universities, between the fact that we've continued to have the H1B program running, I can't believe I'm saying this, but thank God it's Veterans Day, and I'm blessed for our veterans. Our service members were not paid during the government shutdown. But you know what was working? The Department of Labor was still approving H1B visas to import more people from the third world to replace you and me and our kids and our grandkids.
And in this clip, Fishback is speaking to younger Americans on how the jobs they should be getting, the ones that they took on untold tens of thousands of dollars of student loan debt to American universities, are getting shipped off to people who are not American.
It is not fair when H1B workers from China and India come take jobs from FSU grads or UF grads or FAU grads who are graduating in accounting. Those jobs deserve to go to Floridians, not to cheap third world labor from Mumbai and Shanghai.
And if you want more updates on James Fishback for Florida Governor 2026, then hit like, please, and subscribe to this channel. In this clip, the GOP hand-selected choice for governor, Byron Daniels, is hard at work for some pharmacist from India to take a job that would have gone to a student loan-indebted American worker.
You know, one of our supporters just sent me an email about how she's having to struggle with the HB1 visa program and the green card program. You know, she's a trained pharmacist from India, and she's gone through all the paperwork with the immigration service, but she can't practice as a pharmacist here in America. That doesn't make any sense.
So anybody from any country, they come to America legally, they will have that opportunity to be a part of the fabric of America. So anybody from any country, they come to America legally, they will have that opportunity to be a part of the fabric of America.
Here, Fishback goes right at Byron Daniels' drive to turn America into an international economic zone instead of a cohesive nation. Here, Fishback shares a personal story about how his family got dealt a rough hand in the 2008 financial crisis.
Well, I want to agree with Tiffany 100%. I grew up for a short period of time on the food stamp program as well, so I can sympathize with that. The truth of the matter is we have to have an honest conversation. We are all for, I think at this table, a safety net, but the safety net cannot become a safety couch, a safety jacuzzi, and then a safety Tempur-Pedic.
But did you hear these are the talking points.
And here Fishback agrees with someone through this retweet that we shouldn't need a 50-year mortgage. We should just deport 50 million people.
If we're serious about housing, why don't we take the 55 million people here on immigration visas and remove them from our country immediately, because they are living in homes that could be going to Americans who have been here, who have worked hard, who have fought and bled for this country.
When someone tweeted, "America is closed, no more immigration," Fishback agreed and retweeted, "We're closed and we're not apologizing for it." And right here, Fishback paints the idea of a 50-year mortgage for exactly what it is: economic slavery on a banker's plantation.
We're Americans. We are not slaves. We are not slaves to the plantation owner. We are not slaves to China. And we are not slaves to Wall Street. This 50-year mortgage idea is a spit in the face. It is an insult. We did not vote for this. We did not vote to become debt slaves to private equity firms and the big banks and Wall Street. A Right now, the median home in America costs $500,000. At the prevailing mortgage rate of 6%, you would have $580,000 of interest payments over 30 years. If we went with this ridiculous, inane idea of a 50-year mortgage, that would be $1.1 million of mortgage payments for a $500,000 home. So you would end up paying $1.5 million for a $500,000 home. My grandfather, who was a World War II vet, he passed in 2018. He always told me that we don't want to pass down this national debt to the next generation, to our kids and our grandkids, to become slaves to China. I'm not worried about China anymore. I'm worried about becoming slaves to Wall Street. And the know-nothing Republicans and the do-nothing Democrats seem to be working together once again to push this usury on Americans. It is an absolute insult. If we want to get serious about housing affordability, the crisis that is staring down my generation, when my dad was growing up in the 1960s, half of 30-year-olds, half of them were married and owned their home. Today, only 15% of 30-year-olds are married and own their home. If you can't own your home, you can't get married. If you can't get married, you can't have kids. If you can't have kids, then honestly, what is the point? This is an insult. This is a genocide against the Gen Z generation to try to foist this sort of slavery and usury on us. We reject it 100%. If we want to get serious about housing affordability, why don't we ban Blackstone? Why don't we ban Blackstone, which is one of the largest donors to the Democrat and Republican Party? Why don't we ban Blackstone from buying up entire neighborhoods, and then forcing us to rent from them?
Here's how he feels about Blackstone eating up home ownership and turning it into rental properties, and what he'll do about that if they try it in Florida.
Blackstone, no, you're not going to come in and outbid a family of 4 who wants to buy this home, grow that family to 6, get a new job, and contribute to the community. Blackstone has done nothing for our country. Everyday Americans built this country. They deserve single-family homes, not private equity giants. We did not sign up for a country where a company like Blackstone can take money from Chinese overseas investors, come into our communities, take homes that belong to Americans, outbid homes that belong to Americans. The social and economic repercussions of that are off the charts.
About Fishback's stances on welfare and how the program has been upended into a steady stream of income for people who could easily work if they wanted to.
Well, Abby, I think it's a mistake to sit here and say that the food stamp program makes Americans better off. In 2000, there were only 17 million Americans on food stamps. Today, there are 42 million of them, 4 million of whom are refugees or migrants in this country, whether they have TPS or refugee status. It doesn't matter. I don't think it's a good measure of the economy that more and more Americans rely on the government.
And everybody, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more on James Fishback's run for Florida governor in 2026.